And I think we back at it again. Again and again. This time on another manga. Caught up in another story. Well, I just had to take you along this journey. Honestly, I don't know if I can carry you during this journey. I doubt that I can read out loud what is being said or delve into some long ass explanations about what is happening. This is an in depth one, and this is one where I'm pretty immersed. When I'm too immersed in it, I can't be explaining the whole story around. I'm just vibing within myself. But I was still trying to take you through the journey of one of at least getting you through this. I don't know if this is what works for you in getting into a new manga or something. But yeah, this is USOGUI, means lie eater, lie consumer, lie manger, lie lie taberu, lie eater. It means lie eater, and it's a game about, well, it's a manga about gambling and a whole lot of other things, but mostly gambling to some extent. I mean, gambling is pretty much just a stand in for opposition through games of all sorts. Because the games don't have to be hazardous, they can be logical games, they can be games that don't rely on pure luck, I'm thinking. Although we haven't gotten a lot of those. But yeah, it can be skill games or other things. But it's mostly about gambling. And through gambling, we find this organization that has built up a name for centuries and is now such a standing or such a powerful standing organization in society that, well, you can't do shit to them. They just stand there. They stand in power, and that organization is surveilling most of the gambling through this manga, and it helps us to see gambles that happen through powers that differ strongly, but at the end of the day, the gambles are still respected. This is a manga based in reality. Obviously, not all of it is realist, but man, it tries to be, and it's one of the points. There is no magic system per se, but things get wild. Because although it's about gambling, motherfuckers throw hands in this one. When I say they throw hands far. They fight, and they go for it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Usugui. I probably would have put you on from the first chapter on, but listen, when I picked it up, I just couldn't drop it down. I went through a couple of chapters from the abandoned building arc through through the whole situation with the terrorist fight in the tunnel and all that good shit. So now we're at the memory selling arc, at least just a bit beyond that. Our boy Kaji got framed and all that. But anyway, shit was getting really fire, and so I thought if I'm gonna do something, let me at least make a bit of a rundown of Usugui here. So yeah, fire chapter again, and really intensive work. And so we caught up after really pretty much a fire ass battle royale between some of the strongest people physically, some of the strongest fighters we have in this series, being Kiara, Hikoishi, no, Juichi, Yoko, and Mr. Jackal over here with his ears. Yeah, so Jackal just pretended to die, and here we pick back up on that. But what I liked about last chapter was not all that. What I liked was this. It's Kaji's involvement and Kaji's autonomy. in his way of intervening in the story. He just has so much more agency. He's growing, and I fuck with it heavy. Just from the start of this arc, his whole interaction through the new games being played and the new concept being thrown at him were pretty respectable. I found it pretty inspiring. He was already ready to squabble, not squabble literally, but he was ready to squabble mentally. And that's what I liked. His character is growing exponentially. And this is not another proof of that. I mean, just before that, there was this example that happened of him finding out some shit about the band-aid that he was given, how it had a GPS on it and all that. But now he even knows that, listen, if there's some information that might be important, let me throw it the way, let me throw it his way, the way to the main man, Baku. He gonna know what to do with it. And he threw it his way, and Baku had some good intel, and he said, "Oh, bet my man," and he fights it. That's his his creepy intelligence, as they call it, or some. That shit funny as fuck. But yeah, he's a gag, quote unquote, character to some extent, which is why this her character is going, huh? But yeah, he's a gag character, but he is growing so much, and I fuck with the man. So anyway, going back to it, I'll see if I'm gonna read it out loud and all that. But I'm gonna try to see if this is something that it is readable out loud. Even though it could be ranged from something small to something large, you could say that a crime is something that everyone commits, and everyone would want to escape the punishment. Among those, there are the ones that escape thanks to the intelligence, to the negligence of the police, or because their case is unsolved. But if there are ones who are lucky enough to escape, then there are, of course, ones found by keen police investigation and are arrested and charged. However, ones with stunning connections and a vast amount of money, or in other words, people who possess power, go through go through this process in a different manner. You could say you could say the same for any country, but above the public who line up at wagon sales and modest eat one coin lunches, there are people with power who hate attonishing for their sins more than anyone else. They refuse to. What they wield in their finger is so much influence over others, so much that an ordinary person couldn't imagine. Their pockets are always overflowing with a mysterious spell that dazes people. Just by moving their lips and using those connections, they can make a white crow fly and even turn an honest person into a liar. If these people who can get away with committing these selfish acts were to commit a crime, no, it'd be more appropriate to say that they get arrogant from committing these selfish acts. That is why they will try to conceal the truth using any means possible to maintain their position. And if the police, who are supposed to be the ones punishing them, prepare a scapegoat for them in exchange for money, they will, of course, make use of that. Which is what brought us to this arc, the arc with selling memories. The arc completely tricked the fuck out of me. That shit did me a 360 no scope type of trick. I came in expecting, for a change, this character ain't about that fucked up shit. He just wants memories because he's missing some. He's a bit weird. There's probably some underlying Mephisto shit going down, but he ain't that bad. Lo and behold, what he meant by memories is alibis. By taking away your alibi on a certain date, he will make sure that you get framed for a certain crime, and he does it for, you guessed it from this reading, for some pretty powerful people. And through the whole concept of this, there's also the whole little thing of what do you call it? The L list, which we mentioned, the L file, which we mentioned from the chapter before this, which Kaji found out about. And so that's what's playing. Now, Baku just defeated the main man who was taking care of that. Now, Kakero is the organization that surveils the gambling. They, one, will make sure the game goes according to the rules of the game. Meaning, if cheating is allowed, they will let cheating happen. If cheating is allowed, if uncaught, they will allow it to happen. If cheating isn't allowed, they will not let it happen as much as they are able to see it. Now, Kakero will also make sure that whatever the people bet is respected. And because people were betting on some a concept as nebulous as their memories of a certain day, what they don't realize is that they are betting away the events of that day that is past, that they are betting away their alibi from that day. And that's what was happening. And Kakero will make sure that you're not able to evoke any of those memories for that day if you're caught up in a situation. And that's why the police was using that, and that's why there was the whole list with the money, and that's why the whole situation got this fucked up. I'm telling you, if you didn't want to read Usogui, if you were hesitating, if you gotta get on that train. It's crazy. If you're a man that fucks with the superpowers and all that and think this is this ain't it, it's not a good it's fire, you gotta get on it. Anyway, going forward, the police, you say? Yes, it's the police job in the first place to find the culprit of a case. It's not their job to find that. Whether it's an alibi or a confession, if there is evidence to prove a person is guilty, it doesn't matter who the culprit really is. The judicial system is the same. A motive can be easily fabricated. In the L file that I returned to Amako, there were the names of numerous businesses, leaders, politicians, eminent people of the country, and along with them there was a mysterious amounts of money and a crime written for each name. This is probably a record of the requests made to the police by the authorities. The L files is most likely evidence of the authorities requesting the police to find a scapegoat for the crimes they committed. In other words, it is a file of darkness that can be revealed. That's what I think. If Usugui is, as the sweeper said, at the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, and if Amako has to do something with it, he may be able to get a hold of the L file. L file, by possessing that, he'll be able to grasp the Achilles tendon of both the police and the authorities. The one who gets a hold of it will not only get money, but also all kinds of advantages. Hey, Martin, it's not that simple. The names in this file are the monsters of this country's higher class. Like I said earlier, they have the power to get away with selfish acts. The L file itself doesn't have any decisive or admissible evidence that could prove wrong. If some hoodlum got a hold of it, he wouldn't be able to make proper use of it. That's like grabbing the collar of a powerful person with a weak arm. It's no different to being silenced or to die for speaking out of place in order to take advantage of them. I mean, so you, even if you have the file that says, "Oh, can you follow this request for me?" If you don't know what to do with it, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? He's still gonna dodge the bullet. So you gotta know what to do. And so it shows that here it's no different than being silenced or to die speaking out of place in order to take advantage of them. You must make them believe that their heart will be crushed if they make the wrong choice. Tenacity, it's a force that's necessary from a person. He destroyed the terrorist, the man named USOGUI who stopped the missiles. If it's him, the L file can be used effectively. Instead of me, who hates to gamble, he will cross the dangerous bridge. What is this? Oh, he crushed the needle. It's better if the risk is low when he has acquired enough power to play the surpassing the leader game. All I have to do is grasp the handle of the knife by the name of Usagui, and anyway, that's only if he gets hold of on the elf if he gets a hold on the L file. This man loves this his knife analogy. This guy, where does he know about the L file? The only possibility I can think of, Billy Craig from the embassy. There must be a connection between them. For two people to mention the L file on the same day, no, they're not allies. If they had wanted to get a hold of the L file, it was not unnatural for Billy to have returned it so easily. There is no way to know if he has a relationship with that guy right now. I can't ignore the fact that he knows about the L files. File? What did you say? L file? I don't really care for disputes, but if you're going to play dumb, play dumb? What are you talking about? What a coincidence. I happen to have it in my hands. This is the L file, Bakugan. This is not even worth betting over. This L file, I'll give it to you. Huh? Here, take it. He really can twist your expectations in this manga. Here, take it. Usugui thinks. A few minutes ago, a message was sent to him from an ally he could trust. Hey, what's this pipe? He secretly looked at the message from Kaji. There might be a connection between the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department and something called the L file. In the middle of running away, so bye for now. That's the man Kaji. L file. After hearing its name, Usugui, like Kaji, instantly speculated that it had something to do with the labyrinth. It's as if, because of Kaji's simplicity, Usugui was able to force Amako to talk about it. Usugui thinks, of course, it's hard to take it all at face values. Amako's words, this vulgar bargain, this game to play or not to play. No, the intentions of the enemy are not that important. What matters is how he intends to benefit from this action. And the mystery is the USB flash drive he took out, the L file. If this thing is what he thinks it is, then even if it's a coincidence, it's unnatural for Amako to be walking around with it. So it would be obvious to think there is nothing questionable about its content. In Kaji's message, if he had included what Caracal talked about in the tunnel about L file matters about police superintendent Amako and Amako's name itself, then there would have been no reason for Kaji to include his suspicions about the file being in Amako's hand. The reason he did that was because Kaji didn't pay attention, or rather you could say he lacked the attention needed. There's no reason for Usogi to expect Kaji's information to help him much, but even if he knew there was no way for Usogi to confirm it, for some reason, so he's acting like, in some ways, he's sort of acting like it's not a big deal. And because of how Kaji says it, he might think that, so whatever type of deal. So by acting this way, maybe he's helping in pushing in his mind that it's not even important. Why would you want this? Is what I'm thinking. And since Kachi didn't pay attention, or you could say he lacked the attention needed, there's no reason for Sergei to expect Kachi's information to help him much. But even if he knew, there was no way for Sergei to confirm it for some reason. And this is where it gets interesting. I think that it's just about the trust he has for Kaji. He trusts his man. Oh, yeah, why? That L file, by what coincidence do you have it right with you right now? It isn't something you should be walking around with, copied on a flash drive. Bakukan, if you want to know, I'll tell you the reason. There was a foreign agent. He was a CIA investigator from the US Embassy, Mr. Billy Craig. Just like a spy would, he stole the L file and copied it on this USB flash drive. I noticed it. I noticed it was gone, and earlier today at a French restaurant, I was able to recover it. That's why I have the file with me right now. Huh? What kind of reason is that? Well, okay, if you're giving it to us, we'll take it. Marken, Marco, my boy. Bakugan, it's to you that I want to give this to. Could you personally come and take it? Or is that perhaps, or is it that perhaps you're scared of getting close to me? It's not like that, right? Bakuni-chan, it's okay, Markin. If he kills me right now, he can't get the money. Besides, I can do Hokuto Shinken. This dude is a nerd, bro. Talking about Fist of the North Star. Bakugan, do you think that out of the people in this world, most of them are idiots to the point that they can't be saved? They don't have an interest in people around them and walk around endlessly exposing their lives. They don't sense danger. They are just peaceful idiots. Don't you think they should at least be conscious of danger? The gruesome incidents that happen in this world are treated like passing winds. Everyone thinks that they are safe, the peace around them, they think it is something that they can get for free. But they don't understand. Nothing is free. They know in their head that it's too good to be true, but at the end of it all, they still remain peaceful idiots. That is why their heads turn numb from the temptation of this no money gamble, a gamble that will carry their feet into the mud. And when they finally notice the mud is already over their heads, damn, he slapped my boy. They bring it upon themselves with their foolishness. In a way, it's natural selection. Ah, bah! You who stupidly came to take the file are the same. I receive compensation for keeping this world safe from those kinds of people. Oh, peaceful idiot, huh? I think so too. Hmm? Oh shit. I'm happy you understand. In this world, there is nothing more dangerous than something that is free. The L file is now yours. By the way, that file in your hands right now, the official name for it is the lobbyist file, the L file for short. It's a file that lists the representative lobbyists of Japan. Well, if you're fine with having something like that, I'll give as many as you want. Do you have an interest in politics, Bakukun? Bakuni-chan, are you okay? What happened to Hokuto Shinken? I see. Excuse my rudeness. I was wondering what happened while I was gone, but you seem to be completely fine. The 1 billion and 100. The 1.1 billion is already in our hands. Usogui probably did all of that knowing this, but made a blunder. In other words, the L file that Bakusama speaks of, the labyrinth file that shows the names of all the clients related to this gamble, is saying you won't take part in the gamble unless Amako-sama bets on that. Yeah, can find this out by investigating, but I'll just ask Amako-sama, does this labyrinth file exist? The L file exists. Referee Kadokura, this is the L file. You can go ahead and check it. Bakuni-chan, earlier I handed this to you with the intention of giving it to you. I only teased you a bit, but it seems like you believed my lie. Usogui-kun. He's making a pun here, since Usogui is like Usogui. Wait, hold on a second. So when he picked it up here, he threw it back at his feet. And this nigga's thinking, oh, he threw it back because he feels like there is no more worth to it, you know? But then he said, nigga, this actually has value. I mess with your brain. And, you know, just put it back on the market for the game. Let's see how niggas move around here. Oh, shit is bleeding again. That eyebrow bastard. I thought I could earn everything from a gamble. How pathetic. Isn't it laughable? I may look like a fool, but I only went there because he said he'd give me the file. Honestly, I was so taken aback I did my best to hide my shaking, but I was actually so frustrated. Oh, sorry for complaining. How should I say this? I just feel more relieved when I talk, I guess. I'm weird, aren't I? How strange. I just met you today, and yet I talked so much. Don't mind it, there's no strange meaning behind it. Ah, damn it. Are you okay? Bakusama, if you'd like. If this goes on, it might be too... Checking them files. Welcome back. Are you done with the treatment, Bakusama? And I'm fine. Thanks to you, my pain is all gone. I'm glad to hear that. Well then, this file Amako-sama submitted, we must see if it is what Bakusama was talking about or not. I will be confirming it right now. Well, there are quite a lot of names lined up. Amako-sama, this is not enough for me to confirm this is the file Bakusama is seeking or not. If it's fine with you, names and class and cases written on here, some of the content on this data will be checked by Kakero. They will investigate the authenticity of this file. The names listed in the file are similar to the human resources of Kakero. Oh shit. And expand into a large range of professional fields with the organizational power of Kakero. And the relation between the person's name and the cases, we should be able to find out if these incidents exist and confirm the authenticity of a few of them. With those results, hold on, this is an Excel sheet. They put this in an Excel sheet. I'd like to determine if this is the real file. Are both of you fine with this? Well then, it's me. Please investigate the information that I'll be giving you right now. Okay, next is November 5th, 2004. Okutama Baku. The blood. If like, I could prepare a change of closet for you. If you like, I could prepare a change of clothes. Oh, this. You did this, you know. It's fine, it's fine. Don't mind it. I thought about it. The face slap and the punch equals to two hits. If that's all, it's not a lot at first. I was pissed off because of the pain, but in the end, I'm going to win the game, so hits like that, I don't mind them. Free. You said there is nothing scarier than that. A good story is never for free. The world isn't that nice. I fully realize now. And while engraving into my heart the lesson everyone should know, I decided I'm taking it from you for free. Since I'm going to win, it's the same as getting the alpha in exchange for those two hits. So that's why I'm going to return you something worth two hits. In your distorted order, it's appropriate. So I'll forgive you for what you did earlier. With this, everything's cleared. And it's again a no money gamble. I said this already, but it's because in the end I'm going to win, so I don't mind it anymore. An act done to obtain something for yourself. These two people understand the true nature of this battle. We don't even know the details of the game, and the result can be determined until we open the lid. Am I wrong? You are wrong. With that mundane lecture, a powerful won't open for your reason to keep winning. I see certainly. Depending on the person, battles will show an ever-changing assortment of colors. The card in your hand can possibly influence the result of the battle. These are the cards in their hands. There are probably some who hate Mortal Kombat and abandon battles. On the other hand, there are some who can't leave that place of battle, and Bakusama, the result has arrived. The one to satisfy their greed. Let us begin the game. Kakeru has determined that this L-file is real. May be the one who faces the battle. So there are probably some who hate Mortal Kombat and abandon battles. On the other hand, there are some who can't leave the piece of battle, and the one to satisfy their greed may be the one who faces the battle. Okay.